Alright, hello and welcome to the second episode of the Pokemon Speedruns podcast. We're covering the news and events from the PSR community from the last month. I'll be your host Amoeba, and joining me today we've got three special guests. So returning from his episode 1, and known as the British Robot, welcome back Crafted.
Hello.
We also have the Black and White One Usurper, also back from episode 1, Scoagogo.
Hello.
And finally, we all know him and love him for ruining the very first PSR Marathon, RXFadez. Who's not there? Push to talk, my dude.
Thanks. I mean, I completely wasn't talking to myself for a brief moment there.
Excellent. No, I'm joking with Fade. He massive community member for the past 4 or 5 years, and he's been on every single committee for the PSR marathons for every single one they've done.
I prefer the term secret PSR puppet master, but whatever floats your boat.
Sure thing. Don't nobody post that. But yeah, we're going to go through a quick preamble, but it'll be a lot shorter than last week's. Just want to remind everybody that we're really looking for feedback. If you have anything good, bad, indifferent to say about this podcast, please let me know. Discord, the YouTube where we post this afterwards, anything's good. And yeah, this will be uploaded on the YouTube channel, on my YouTube, Amoeba UK, pretty much as soon as we're done. But yeah.
I still personally identify you as baffling Amoeba. I'm sorry. It's not Amoeba UK. It's never going to be the same.
If it's any consolation, I just tweeted the link out for this podcast for twitch.tv/Amoeba and forgot the UK, so we're not doing very well here, but technical difficulties aside. Alright, I think the first and foremost, what we should talk about has to be the Red World Record, because it's a classic, because everybody likes a good Red World Record. So, as you can see on the leaderboards, Exarion with his 1:45.48. Comes with a bit of a sad story afterwards, but we'll get to that in a minute. The run itself is definitely the important bit. Don't believe he's using any new routing compared to the existing route. It's basically on the same route that WSOPboy had his 1:45 on, and Exarion's 1:46 before this. I might be wrong.
Yeah, no major changes.
Just a much more solid run. Yeah,
I believe he said it was his best executed run.
Wow. I'm sure there was a red record way back in the day of measuring in in-game time, where his 150 was his best executed run at the time. So this must be a good run.
Yeah, if it's best executed for Exarion, then it's good.
Yeah. So we've got on screen at the moment, we've got the Koga split going, because this is where his time save kicks in massively. He jumps from being 13 seconds behind to 35 ahead. Like, again, I don't remember exactly what happened in his PB. I remember there was the previous PB. There was a death to, not a death, but an issue with the Lavender rival.
Yeah, you can see he makes up some time there as well. But
Yeah.
I think it's getting red bar from the rival fight that makes up time on Koga.
Oh yeah, Sylph Red Bar. That makes sense. Yeah, so the massive jump. It's the difference between his PB and his target splits. It gets me. Like 40 odd seconds behind his target splits that fly, and then his PB's like, because his target splits in the initial part of the PB are a lot.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but what's his previous time before Instant X was allowed again?
No, I think it was only a little over a month ago. Yeah, there was they did a big reroute, partially because of Instant X, and other factors that removed the last optional trainer in Mount Moon. So, and that was the same route that WSOPboy got his a run that nobody can see because he hasn't been allowed on the leaderboards because no audio. But he got a 1:45 with that. Yeah, you can see the difference here in his his run. He's towards the beginning, he's 25 seconds behind his own PB, but then only 10 seconds behind his target splits. So, just a great run all round. And I think coming off the back of that, Exarion made a tweet and attached a pastebin, which has come as some sad news for some people, I think, because it's titled "Moving On." We can see it here. We think he's done. We think Exarion is finally finished with Pokemon Speedruns, which, yeah, it'll be a shame, but I can understand why. He's been doing this for 4 years now. When did he burst onto the scene with his first red run?
2014, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it must have been mid 2014 with the spontaneous 150.
That's
record.
still my favourite thread on the forums. It's just Exarion with a 150 in red, and everybody went, "Nah, nah, it's not real. You haven't done that."
No, but I still hold to this day that Sarah Hagen is the greatest speedrunner of our generation.
Was it Sarah Hagen got on the 148, or was it 147?
I think Sarah Hagen was just like another 150 or like a 159. It wasn't.
No, it was a 148 in game time.
It was something ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, I was one of the people in the thread. I was like, "Well done if you've done that," but I don't reckon you've done that. Like, kind of iffy. PSR was going through a time of lots of cheated runs and people appearing on the scene. Shouts to Starcrytas.
No one has yet caused my world record spin the percent runners.
Yeah.
Fake, so.
Yeah, Exarion seems to not be enjoying the runs now that they've all. Well, a lot of the Gen 1 to 3 is leaning towards RNG manip. The switch to RTA has brought about RNG manip in basically every run. I don't think there isn't. I think Emerald's about the most untouched compared to before RTA, in that the RNG manip is basically the same thing.
Well, even then, it's very different because we went through a time at first where just resetting constantly, just trying to get a kip. Then we found a way to manipulate it from soft reset. There wasn't much difference. But I think as soon as we allowed save and quit, you kind of lost the adjustment factor. You ran with the same kip every time.
The soft reset initially wasn't any good because of the single segment thing, but I think that's actually what they do now, isn't it? They've gone.
Yeah, they soft reset for a set kip, and then
because there was the weird interim where they had it would be single segment, but you'd take your trainer ID. Basically, what Fire Red does still. So, yeah, I think Gen 2's running with. They've got Totodile manip in gold and silver. They've got Entei manip. It's crystal. Like,
wasn't it the Japanese community came with that? Because I vaguely remember Buster tweeting something about it, and then that getting some hype.
I actually don't know. I'll be honest, I don't follow the Gen 2 runs as much. But I can believe it. Buster's a nutter. That's his Gen 2 and his Heart Gold Soul Silver. Yeah, Exarion appears to be gone, at least onto other projects. I know at the moment he's running a Yu-Gi-Oh game of some description that I don't know.
Forbidden Memories, I think?
Sounds right.
Yeah, it's Forbidden Memories.
So, I mean, I definitely wish him well. I hope he hasn't completely written off Pokemon Speedruns, but we should support him in his choice either which way. But yeah. Could be
if I was still running, I think I'd be spiteful and like jealous and be like, I hope he quits forever so I can get all the world records.
That's a bit mean. You can't say that.
I don't run anymore, so that's not my opinion. I'm just saying, if I was running, it might be.
I'm curious how long some of his records will stand though, because he still has everything. Gen 1 to 3 apart from yellow? Question mark.
Pokeguy has gold.
Pokeguy has gold,
which we'll get to later.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a bad point. Yeah.
God, Amoeba, you got to read
has crystal.
Amoeba should have read the notes that he wrote. Who has crystal?
W's up.
Oh yeah. So yeah, no Gen 2. was interesting because he was definitely looking into the Entei manip, but I suppose if that's more RNG manip, he's not going to find as much joy in that. Yeah, so Exarion's the big PB in red, but we also have Mr. 4th place. I believe it's pronounced Shivu. Could be wrong. Shivu?
I've always pronounced it Chivu, like you know, is it Shibu, the Japanese thing? I think it's like that with a V, but I could be completely wrong.
Yeah, he's
CHIVU for the chat.
Yeah. He's taken 4th place overall with a good run. And we're highlighting this bit specifically on stream. Well, I'm not going to ruin it, but he gets some incredible luck here. And Gen 1 misses the Haunter into Confuse Ray. Shout out to the 256. Yeah, it seems to be quite.
You just see him pause, like, what just happened?
what do I actually do here? Oh god, Andy got hypnosis.
Wow.
To be honest, I'd stopped at the Confuse Ray. I didn't realise he followed that up into that. Okay, he got double hypnosis, but it failed. Jesus. Yeah, that's kind of incredible that he brought that back in a way. But there's been a few Gen 1 misses into late runs. I'm sure there was a highlight I saw a month or so ago where Gunnar Gen 1 missed in yellow on Lance.
Yes.
Which I think he's done before.
He was on world record pace, and he Gen 1 missed on Gyarados.
Oh, Jesus.
And of course Gyarados hit 2 Hydro Pumps.
We are getting fresh news from the chat. Thank you, WSOTboy, who has just told us that Shivu actually has a 147.24 as of yesterday. So we're not doing our job very well there. Shivu is actually now in 3rd place.
Tied 3rd on the leaderboards.
I know, 24, not 42. WSOTboy has a 42.
Oh yeah, sorry.
That's alright. They say it's another 147. Exarion still effectively sat in his own little league of 145. But then it was WSOTboy that got the other 145, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the last one.
Yeah, that was a shame. Yeah. So I mean, there's still big things to expect, I think, from the top of this leaderboard. Shibu's definitely jumping up there. I mean, all the top 6 runs are all really fresh, and obviously the new route is 2 or 3 months old at most. Definitely pay attention to up there. And then just a quick run through the rest of the leaderboard. We will mention that happy days for Glitchless. I was going to say it hit 300 runs, but it's disappeared. That was at 300 the other day. Why is that now at 299? That's really disappointing. Alright, well, it was at 300 at some point. Someone's been banned at some point and now it's gone. But it did
someone's deleted their runs out of spite.
Yeah. Somebody who this podcast was happening.
Runs.
Yeah, okay, it's going to be 300 at some point. Someone will add a run, I'm sure.
Which is quite a lot.
Yeah, well, definitely the most popular Pokemon category. I wonder where it puts it, like, overall amongst all speedruns. Definitely, like, the Marios, the 3D Marios, and a lot of the 2D Marios will beat it out, but I can't imagine much else does.
I can check as soon as my internet starts working. It's currently... Oof. It's not even on the... Ooh. It's on my active players now, that's why.
Ah, yeah. That still should be okay on active players, I would have thought. Surprise.
It's irrelevant on active players. Okay, in total players, it's not even first page anymore. Wow, it used to be first page.
Ouch. I'm amazed it's got beaten out that much. I suppose things like Odyssey coming along. Odyssey exploded as a speedrun.
Celeste and Undertale have beat it out. Warframe pre-game.
I don't know anything about
Warframe.
Warframe.
Beat it out. Warframe's kind of like it's hard to explain. It's like a sword fighting game in space. It's online. It's free on PS4. I think maybe Xbox and PC.
Celeste Blue. Yeah, I've seen a lot of Celeste. Isn't the world record holder for Celeste the same one that's the record holder for a lot of Undertale categories as well? We are really taking an aside here. Yeah, other red PBs of the month. We've got Steffit. I think it's Steffit. in 20
Also,
burst.
quickly, it's 24th on speedrun.com.
Wow. Yeah, Steffit making fairly decent progress. Chunky 5-minute PB. Up to 21st now. Then, where do we go from here? PLD in 38th. Whose Game Boy Advance disconnected after the Lance battle. Good job. Down in 63rd, Arg My Toast. Trombone Master in 160 something. Probably moved. There we go, 166. Right near him somewhere. Oh, that one's disappeared. That might be the one that's gone. There was Lilac R in 178th, but they seem to have gone. I think. Oh no, there they are. And then Mr. Orcadude in 179th. So, not... Well, there's not going to be as much as last month, because we covered the whole of 2018 at that point. But I'd still say Red's fairly active looking at the moment. There's still a good number of glitchless PBs. A few new ones.
Although your 300 player stat is now defunct, I can tell you that there has been now this week over 64 days worth of red runs submitted to the leaderboards.
This week?
On the leaderboards currently, there's 64 days worth of red runs. That's playing the game for 64 days straight in speedruns, not including resets. This is just runs.
Jeez. And somebody has just pointed out to me, Jack Draz down in 30th. We did just skim over him, sorry my dude. Got the British representation on this leaderboard now. Is that? Sinstar's still the highest Brit, but it's down in 17th a year ago. Not a lot of Brits playing
we
this.
got 14th.
Oh, sorry, yeah, that's an English flag, isn't it? Yeah. Terrible. You can't show that kind of individuality.
We believe in the United Kingdom, please.
Well, Scotland's going to disappear, so I don't think we can believe in it for too much longer.
Northern Ireland doesn't even exist on here.
Oh, wow, really? We get counties. I'm down as Lincolnshire on mine.
Yeah, I'm down to Cheshire. Yeah. It's like when Shiru got happy because Catalonia got added. Catalonia is a lot smaller than Scotland. It's Northern Ireland too, isn't it? I mean, about the same size. I don't know about population. Population, Catalonia probably wins out. Does Northern Ireland just fall in the islands then? Or is it like a county?
No, there's like all of Ireland. Like I think every single county in Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland is on SRC. It's quite cool.
Nice.
Although it doesn't help the fact that there are like -2 Northern Irish speedrunners. It's like we just don't exist.
You have to get internet first.
Internet that has a higher upload speed than 1.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I do not have.
Wow. How do you speed a stream a Gen 5 game with that bad upload?
I have like 0.55 upload.
I'm jealous.
Wow.
I wish I had that.
I have like 10 times your upload. Sorry. I imagine Crafted sat there all smug because he was in student accommodation last year, and that internet connection is nutty.
I think 100 up and down.
Don't have quite that much this year.
And Gen 5 with 0.3 up. Is it Sinstar that's got like 100 up or something silly?
What?
Am I misremembering that? Yeah,
No, it's not Sinstar.
Sinstar has like 0.3 up.
Garth's is nuts. Garth's stream always looked really good as well when he was running Gen 5, so I don't know how they managed that. But yeah, NSC PBs. Got David Poco in 8th, who says he's pretty much done with NSC by the looks of it. Remote in 14th, joint 14th. The busy leaderboard. Many joint places. Joint 3rd, joint 5th. Sweatpants 23 and 23rd, which I think is kind of fitting. And then Mango Kangaroo, somewhere down here. Where is he? Oh, has this one disappeared as well? I don't think it might have. Unless that was a glitchless one and my notes are terrible. No, I don't know where that's gone.
He got a PB 2 days ago.
Ah, where is it?
50th.
50th. Thank God there's other people here, so I just don't screw this up on my own. Mango Kangaroo with 2 PBs in the past week, I think.
Yeah, from 21:47 to 14:22.
Wow. All right, that's an improvement. Yeah. So I think we were talking about Emerald a bit ago. I think this would be a good time.
Horrible game. Would not recommend
to
anyone, even the most sadomasochistic person in the world.
Emerald,
I don't think I pronounced that remotely right.
Emerald is a great run. Do not listen to this madman.
There is one good category. It's called Spin the Percent. You should check it out.
Please leave. So on the stream at the moment, we've got Shiru's latest PB, which places him at second on the leaderboard. But the more impressive part of it is that he got chain manip. It's not the first run he's got it in, but it's the first PB that's ever had chain manip. And to do a quick rundown of how this works, you save and quit to manipulate an Abra, and then he'll RNG manipulate the Tailo following on from that. But the actual work Shiru has put into this is nuts.
Yeah, he has multiple different paths depending on what frame he hits. So he has to remember a lot of paths to do the manip. And then obviously got to hit the frame to catch it. There's quite a big window for catching the Abra, and then less so on the Tailo.
Yeah.
He seems to get the Abra like every single time. I don't think I've seen him not get the Abra, and then he gets the Tailo most of the time. So it's pretty nice.
Well, one of the things he said to me, I'm just going to pop this nice screen cap on stream. He was explaining it to me, and apparently he follows a pretty much set path once he's caught the Abra, and eventually you'll encounter a Tailo, depending on which frame you got, which frame he encountered the Abra, which frame he caught the Abra. But then he has to adjust the path depending on the way NPCs react. So he has to watch all of the NPCs, and if they react in a certain way, he has to change the path to adapt the manipulation. Which is just nuts. Right. You go back 3 or 4 years and we were just resetting for catching Abras, and then the bird was a bonus.
And Chiru's going to make a tutorial on this manip soon, so if anyone watching wants to know how to do it themselves, you'll find out soon, hopefully.
Hopefully. He's been saying he's going to make a tutorial for a couple of months, and then every time he improves the manip, so he can't make it. But please,
To be fair, I've said the same about Drillbur manip. So
that's about to say, yeah.
It's a lot of work to do good tutorials. Like, if you're a speedrunner of any kind and you've worked off somebody else's tutorial, go and thank them. It takes a lot of effort. I've done some real basic stuff like data collection and
could all the Emerald 90% glitch runners please give you a big thanks right now. I spent a lot of time writing that tutorial for a grand total of 0 people to use it.
How many people have run that category? 3.
I think Tyrant, Roush, myself, and Worcester. So that's 4.
Yeah.
Worcester didn't obviously use mine.
Hey,
Tyrant made his own notes based off a little bit of mine, and Roush, I don't know what he used.
I finished a run. I think I actually used your notes as well. There you go. That was worth it.
Fantastic. It paid me. I'm poor, please.
My time was like 3.5 hours, so it didn't even beat my glitchless time, so it didn't count. But I did finish a run. I remember that much. But yeah, it's really nice to see Shiru's hard work paying off in a run, and I think it's just a matter of time before he drops his time through the floor, through the roof. I'm not sure how to phrase that. Yeah.
It's a matter of time before he gets world record.
Yeah, I mean, he's been on pace for it. I think Crafted, you were saying he's been on pace like to beat record by like 4 minutes or something silly.
Yeah, he's been way ahead. So he'll definitely get it soon, I think.
Yeah.
The thing is though, no matter, like if Shiru gets world record by 20 hours, I don't care, because I'll always remember him for like hitting the spinner in the desert and stuff like that.
Desert candy.
Shiru's face always got me. Just like his face as he realizes what he's done.
Shiru's great. Like basically the only person routing this game at all at the moment is a one-man army. Oh, Crafted just popped up in his chat. Hi, Crafted. And Vince. Ow. Where's Vince been?
Wait, I don't think my chat's working then, because like the last message I got was Scoagogo, go,
no.
saying shut.
I'm watching Shiru's PB and it has like chat replay.
I feel lied to, if we're honest, Meebs. I feel lied to.
I didn't say nothing. We will take a quick look at the Emerald leaderboards as well. The only other story to talk about is it's like hot off the press, because I verified it about an hour ago. It's quite lagging in 3rd place. Sort of almost like the polar opposite to the way Shiru's done his runs. Quite lagging has taken far safer strats, but improved his execution in those safe strats more and more, and it's really shown because he's got 3rd place now. Like, Quay seems... Is it Quay or... I think it's Quay lagging. Yeah. He seems very happy with his run. I'm just going to play a bit of audio at the end, really, really quiet, because he goes a bit mental.
What's that over with, bro? I can't believe this. I don't know if it's it. I don't know if it's it. I don't know if it's it. I don't know.
He does have 3rd place because he beat Tyrant, correct?
It's gonna be close.
Yeah, he's in 3rd.
I don't know.
Also, that was really weird from my perspective, because you're not routing your audio through your mic, so I said dead silence for like a certain 10 seconds there. Like, what?
I'm sorry. I haven't figured out how to do that. I'm not very technically good. But yeah, he's been running this for a little while now.
It's a PB, but I want spam the chat, guys.
If I can find... He goes mental at one point. I can't find the reaction now. I can only do this because he's already said in chat that he's watching from work and he can't listen. Please tell me you guys are watching stream.
Watching stream? You see chat?
Let's fucking go!
So yeah.
What?
They're quite happy with his run. I don't know if he's done with Emerald at the moment, but he's spent a fair bit of time recently running it. So kind of curious if he decides to implement harder strats or not, or if he'll be done with it from there and move on. Yeah, I think that'll do for the Emerald bashing for now. I think we could end up talking about it forever.
Can we talk about the next topic again?
I think we can. So we've had the red world record, and now we're going to go for the gold world record. So Pokeguy is almost a month ago now. It was really early in the month, I think. Yeah, 25 days ago. Picks up a 314 in gold. Basically cementing I think 1st place for a while. He was extremely happy with this run.
Skip the 315.
This game's done.
Very nice.
Yeah. And again, I think somewhere, if I'm on the ball, I have a quote from him about this run. Yeah, look at that. So, not particularly to do with any kind of route improvements. The only recent thing that Gold got was the Totodile manip. As he says, it's more for consistency. You just get more runs going. It doesn't actually save any time. But that can be
it saves you time resetting.
Yeah. Well, I think that can be the difference, because obviously you effectively get more attempts, so that can make quite a difference to how often you're going to be on a good run. Yeah,
and you always have a really good Totodile. Like, you don't have to worry about having like bad special or whatever. Like, all your stats are good.
Yeah, he just says it's, clean run. There's no encounters in Union Cave. And no spinners whatsoever. So yeah. In a weird way, there's not much to talk about with this run. It's oddly too good.
The only thing I want to talk about is how we've gone Gen 1 to Gen 3, then back to Gen 2, because you should just...
If we put it in order, it would be boring. Guess what gen... chat should guess what gen we're going to next, and let's see who gets it right.
After Gen 2, what should be gone to? Given that we've already been to Gen 3, the next gen, logically, is... You guessed it, it's Generation 5.
Lucario did actually guess it exactly. Yeah. We all just sat there in silence for a second, then Lucario's little message pops up. Yes, we will be going to Gen 5 next. In fact, we might as well go there now, I think. Do we have anything else to say about this run? I thought it was very good. It's kind of and it's a bit of a shame it is that good you can't really say anything about it. Like, that's the kind of... It's the ideal run to get. Nothing went wrong. It's just what you say. It's a bit weird. So, yeah, other PBs in gold. We've had a little cluster of, I think, new runners, all jumping in around the 40 mark. Got Zeta with a 342. Xavian, continuing the X name theme, with a 344, and Boxmeister with a 342 yesterday. So, it's potentially some new runners that could jump up. Boxmeister not using the manip, judging by his stats. I actually don't know how the Totodile manip works at all. Whether it's a difficult one to do, or if it's just a save and quit and hit the right frame.
It's a bit more than that because of real-time clock. You have to do weird things. So I think it's not easy.
Oh, fair enough.
I think it's a difficult one.
Yeah, it's definitely worth learning if you want to do runs, I suppose, but you kind of have to... Some people will offset the balance of enjoyment. Yeah, so I think our next one, and I believe we're just going to let Mr. Scoagogo go with this one, because double black-white 1 world records, both by Mr. Scoagogo, in Japanese and English. So did you want to talk about the Japanese one first?
Yeah, I'll start with the Japanese one. The run started off, it definitely started off really well with only one in Route 2 encounter into your first try Woobat. I was on really good pace until Route 4, where the spinner hit me. It wasn't too bad because he only has one Pokemon, but it definitely, it lost me quite a lot of time.
Yeah. He's kind of awkward, you have to pass him twice in a way, don't you? So it's...
Yeah, it's a lot harder the first time though because you don't have the bike.
Yeah.
And he's one of the ones that has a habit of like quick turning back on you, I've noticed. He's definitely one of the harder ones to pass. And then on Route 6 I hit another spinner. It was the first scientist Deerling. But it's not too bad. It's a one shot and he can't do any damage to you. But yeah, outside of that, it was pretty good. I didn't get Curse Body from Chantal or anything. I got good play fight. Nothing major went wrong other than the spinners, to be fair. So then,
wow, that spinner spun you right on the...
Yeah, right. The second I went on to that tile, he turned. I was really, really annoyed.
I see. Look in the chat as well. Shout out to Garth. I told you this would happen. Garth's now happy. Happy about the dealing.
Happy that I hit the spinner.
Yeah, he was happy because I think I hit the dealing in my English PB, and he posted the same thing. I was like, all right, thanks.
Happy at people suffering.
Happy
this is why he ran white 2, because that trainer's required. White 2.
Is that why he didn't run black white 1 either?
Yeah, he'd purposefully fight them to see Deerling.
I've got to be honest, it's pretty upsetting running black 1 when you like the Swaddle line so much.
Because you have to kill so many.
I mean, you do in both.
Yeah, it's... I'm not a happy bunny during the Burrs Gym section.
Is it weird that I naturally associate Garth with Ampharos more than Deerling?
Yes. I'm going to go with yes.
Because like I always watch like Demomshu. Like I imagine in real life he's a ho because that's what his.
Where are we going with this?
Well, that's what his Skype profile always was. So, like, you get an image about someone. It's a ho.
I don't think I've ever noticed. That would make.
That's his Skype profile.
Well, that would make Crafted a scissor.
Yeah, obviously. And I am a professional football player wearing sunglasses.
And I'm a Frostlass then, apparently.
And I am Swaddle. Great. All right, we're doing pretty well here.
But why Ampharos when his picture is Mareep?
Yeah, good point.
His picture is Mareep, not Ampharos.
Are you sure?
Yeah, 100% sure.
You can click his name in the chat, it'll show you. Oh, to be fair, I can see why he thinks it's Ampharos. Is it? What is it?
It's a Mareep.
Is it? Is that definitely a Mareep?
That is a Mareep.
I can see it, to be fair. I can see why, but then I can't at the same time because I guess Ampharos is yellow. So, aside from that detour, your English runs go.
It's honestly the exact opposite of my Japanese run because the English run started off it was really up and down at the start. It was really good, like everywhere except the first two splits because I got 3 Route 2 encounters, then a third try Woobat, and the rest of the run was basically, it was almost perfect.
Did you hit any spinners in this one?
No, I didn't hit any spinners.
Jesus.
I very nearly hit a few of them, and I risked the Jellicent spinner really stupidly. I ran up to her and saw that she was turning away anyway. Normally I wouldn't do stuff like that, but I thought, I'm
going to have to find that now, because I want to see how much you risked it.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm just sat here mind blown how after like 3-4 years I've only just noticed it's not an Ampharos, it's a Marine. Like at one point I had his profile picture as mine, just reversing sunglasses to piss him off, and I still only just noticed it's a Marine. It's like it's really fucked with me. Like it's something I've known for years. It's all been a lie.
God, the constant yellow split, gold splits in your PB.
Yeah, I had so many golds. Like, because if I'd saved any time on any split, basically, it was just gold.
I just saw you risk that Jellicent spinner, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was really risky.
My heart. I imagine that does make Scoa the youngest.
Yes, I'd imagine it probably does make me the youngest.
Well, possibly Worcester when he first did a run. But he kind of gets a default one there. I don't know how old Worcester would have been when he started running. Maybe not.
I started running whenever I was 13, so...
Young boys in the call.
There are minors present, guys. Watch your language.
Wait, there's minors present, so that they like dig coal out of the ground and like.
Let's just move on from that joke.
Wait, Scoa, do you really hate Margaret Thatcher? That's a joke only British people will get.
Yeah, Scoa taking the record off of Crafted. Crafted only got the record in time for us to talk about it on the last podcast. And then I guess Scoa wanted to be his own little news piece for this one.
Literally on Wednesday, I said in your chat, I was like, I wonder if I can bop Crafted before Friday, and literally the next day I got it.
I think my favourite bit is as well, we were having a conversation on Wednesday, like, just talking about stuff.
Because I put it in your notes. I was like, yeah, I got the record, and you didn't believe me.
I was just like, yeah, nice try, Scoa. Ha ha ha. Yeah, Scoa got
I
the
posted
record.
this video, and you were like, wait, what?
Went a bit mental. Yeah, I was a bit mean. I didn't believe you initially. I thought you were just memeing in the notes for the hell of it, and then it came up. But yeah, I think well deserved. Like, you've done serious work in both versions. I feel a little bit sad for Crafted. Crafted, are you going to take the record back?
Yes, I have some naughty strats, if you know what I mean.
Shoutouts to Buster.
Again, that took like 3 seconds to get. I'm like, what does he mean? I'm like, oh, it's a nature.
Yes. Have you actually looked at Naughty then?
Yes, I have routed the whole game. Well, like looked at everything with Naughty, and pretty much all the time save with it is early game. there is no time save late game, but early game it is really nice.
But does it work out faster, do you reckon?
Yes.
Ooh.
But it makes clay slightly harder.
And every single Charon fight, pretty much.
Like, well, no, only Charon 3 really, because
oh god, yeah.
like Charon 2 does the exact same damage, and then the other one he uses Razor Shell, which is physical. So it's just Charon 3 does a bit more.
Does the crit from Charon 4 not kill you? Like from his Unpheasant?
No.
Oh, I read somewhere that it did. Like just a crit from air slash kills you.
But yeah, it's got some really nice things early game. Like for example, on Charon, if you go in Blaze, then you can 2-hit with Ember.
Oh wow.
The Lily Pop. And on the first trainer in the gym, you can, like, as long as you get 1 Blaze Ember there, then you kill it in 3 hits. And you can 1-hit the Snivy on Bianca. It's like a 75% range to 1-hit with Blaze Ember.
Oh, isn't it like it's like 6% with Adamant, isn't it, or something nutty? Like you just don't go for it.
Yeah, because
like 1 in
you just
60.
put it in heal range most of the time.
Wow. All right, so it's Black White could be one to watch still.
Yeah, sorry to
Yeah,
dive over
especially
conversation.
because I'm.
Just quickly dive over conversation. You go back on that point, but I've just typed Garfield Pokemon into images to try and find his profile picture. And this is the greatest thing I've ever found.
Have you seen like the Garfield edits of Pokemon?
If you just go to memebig.net and the Pokemon Speedrunning chat, I posted them. These are amazing. Like,
Oh my god.
endless entertainment. I've just been laughing to myself with my mic muted for like 5 minutes.
Jeez. Yeah, we could. Well, Black White not dead yet. To be honest, I'd written off the entire leaderboard as being dead once Crafted got the 316, so I'm still amazed that you got the slightly lower 316.
And I intend to go for. I'm going for a 315 now.
Are you gonna switch to naughty strats if Crafted releases his notes?
I mean, if it's that significant, would it be that significant?
It sounds like it's going to be a bit of a help in the beginning, but might not be significant.
Like, it sounds like a lot of it's very dependent on Blaze as well.
Yeah. If you can, like, get the first trainer in the gym to hit you into Blaze, like, for the last hit, and then you can keep it for the rest of the gym, it's, like, amazing. But if you can't, then it's, like, the same as Adamant, pretty much.
Sounds like an excuse for me to look up a naughty seed instead of an Adamant one when I get my DS Fat. Should be fun.
It just sounds like it makes especially at the start of the game, it sounds like it makes it a lot more consistent.
I wouldn't know about it. It sounds like he's got a lot of time save, but I wouldn't, like, potential time save. Would it make it more consistent? I feel like with the risk of sharing 3, you could potentially make it less consistent overall. It might be
I mean, if it gets like the focus energy off, you're just going to be praying like right at the start that it doesn't crit you.
But you kind of do already.
But you can still live like 1 crit. I doubt, like, you just about live with Adamant. I doubt you'd live a crit.
Oh yeah, what about would the Pidove in front of the museum be an issue?
No, quick attack's physical.
Oh, of course. I thought I was thinking of Gust. Hey. Look, you can see why I'm in 8th. Alright. Yeah, I think from there, I'm going to take a look at slightly different to... Well, it's a speedrun, but it isn't, in a way. It's not RTA. TiKevin. And I found this on our speedrun. Managed to get console verification for his yellow task. which I think he'd originally gone for on an older version of the TAS, and they ended up finding out that the emulator they were tassing it on, Gambat, had a bug of some kind. I'll be honest, I'm not going to pretend to know the technical nonsense behind it, but they had to completely rewrite a new emulator so that would emulate it correctly and then redo the whole task. So I think this work has been like weeks in the making for him, but it's nice to see it pay off like this. And I think it's like one of the first few Game Boy console verifications of a TAS as well, which again I could not begin to explain to you why. I don't know. I'm not a smart boy. But we'll be posting.
Well, maybe we could ask the chat if the person in chat who does TASes has stopped calling me a scrub for a minute.
Oh yeah, Maria, help please. How does well, to be fair, TASing and console verification are potentially a very different thing. Well, they are and they aren't, I guess. But yeah, I think TiKevin actually came up on the last podcast because just because of his work with Pokemon Yellow and route improvements and TASing. He posted a very extensive video on the new RNG manip they use through Mount Blue, which is nutty, by the way. The number of inputs is ridiculous. So yeah, again, I'll post a link in the YouTube description for this, but check out TiKevin's channel. The videos are very interesting.
Really close here.
So, and I think from here we're going to talk a bit, and this is absolutely not my comfort zone at all. We're going to talk a bit about Platinum. Starting off with Retrotato. I just wanted to pause for that reaction. Just starting off with Retrotato's newest PB. He's got second place overall on the leaderboards. I think only a minute behind Worcester's time.
Under a minute.
Under a minute.
Yeah,
Very
just
close.
under.
And he hit 2 optionals and a spinner. So you can see, you know, the potential's there for a much better time.
Yep. And we obviously got the new route coming soon for that.
Yeah. Well, this is pop this on pause for a second. Worcester has been tweeting, and then we've also had a pace spin which we'll throw up on stream in a minute. But the newest route of Platinum Any Percent is going to involve, well, initially it was going to involve, instead of capturing a level 40 tentacruel, capturing a level 51. But then they routed it some more between Worcester, I believe _Poi, and probably some other people as well. I think it's mostly been Poi and Worcester. And they've routed that the level 51 doesn't save as much time as having both of the level 40 and the 50 tentacruel. So Platinum Any Percent at the moment is looking ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's absurd, isn't it? You catch a tentacle, just get another tentacle. It's like, it's not how runs work. That's against my religion. Like, stop it.
Well, this is the pace spin that Worcester posted, and it's got all of the breakdown of what the time save is for each.
If you could manip Fantina and Barry 3 to have really fast fights, then it would be faster to skip the level 40. And I saw _ was like working on clusters for that recently, because how the battle RNG works is basically it just when you start the fight, it determines everything that's going to happen in that fight if you do the same sequence of moves. So you can manip fights from like a soft reset, but it'd be quite hard to manip too.
Back in the day, the old red fights in Heart Gold and Gold and Gold Silver, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, because that was was that like 2014 though when that original thing was discovered?
Garfield will know because I believe he worked with Worcester and a bunch of other people on that manip. Because there was red manip and there was, I think, blue manip as well. And then
there's blue manip now.
Yeah. I remember Worcester tweeting about that one, because there was a whole bunch of people working through every possibility, and all the different ways that you would have to play the fight depending on how it went.
And then we recently redid it for the new Raikou with the new route.
Yeah, I think it was 2015 it must have been discovered, because I remember a PSR Marathon where Worcester was just basically shit-talking the game. It's just like, oh, I'm sorry, you think I'm going to die to this fight? And just won easily. Or maybe it was 2016 even, it could have been that late. 2015 sounds better than my head there.
Yeah, it was 2015, like the first Dread Minute thing. Yeah.
I remember as well, I think Worcester did a run of this as well. They did platinum any percent in one of the PSR marathons. I remember the didn't he like YOLO the champion fight? He was supposed to save because there was a good chance he died, and he just went into it anyway, and it was fine.
Oh no, he forgot to take off the choice specs.
Oh, that was it, yeah.
And then he crit the ring out, I think, which like saved the run.
Oh yeah, he crit Lucario, didn't he?
Yeah, he hadn't saved in a while.
It's like, who needs to save when you've got a god on your team?
Yeah, Retro's comments for his run, basically saying about his 2 optionals and the spinner. Apparently got both of the tweaks first try, which tweak looks nutty to me, so I'm impressed. I don't even need to know what they look like. And the classic bad PB will be beaten soon. So I reasonably think we could expect a record from Retrotato in this anytime soon, but then I also reasonably think that Worcester could route out everything and destroy his record tomorrow. So this is another category that's very much up in the air at the moment. Yeah, exciting times.
Also, he died in Victory Road to crit Sucker Punch.
Oh, that was a death. I saw the crit Sucker Punch, but yeah, where on earth is that? How much time did that cost, I wonder? I can't even find it. Victory Road is so long in Gen 4. Get rid of that nonsense. Yeah, I think Platinum was fairly quiet otherwise. There's Retrotato's PB there, and then there's a new runner in Glitchless called Pluto. So interesting to see what they do there. I think Glitchless has been quiet for a little bit. Worcester got a record. Oh no, that was 2 years ago, not 2 months ago. Crafted got his. I combined the two. I read Worcester's 2 years and your 4 months as 2 months. So, are you coming back anytime soon, Crafted? Any plans?
I want to, because I routed that extended manip thing, so I want to kind of make use of it, but I don't like dying to Gardenia, so I don't know.
I don't like dying. Yeah. Platinum's it's interesting. There's not a lot going on in the earlier gen routing wise, but Gen 4 and Gen 5 are very active, at least at the moment, which is nice. Makes a small change. I think from here we'll next one we want to talk about, and I think every one of us is slightly out of our element here, so don't judge. The 2 new records in Red Blue Mystery Dungeon by Whom is DS. We'll start off with the shorter one, I suppose, which is this single segment blue rescue team any percent.
Got that chestnut dream.
Oh yeah, the double chestnut. So Mystery Dungeon has it has RNG manip, but it changes the run up so much. Like, it's basically a completely different run if you use the RNG manip compared to if not. It's like RNG manipping is like a practice of memorization. You know exactly how the room's going to be laid out and how each dungeon's going to be laid out, whereas single segment is knowing the game as well as you can, and being able to react on the fly. So yeah, we actually have. I'm just going to pop up. I'm going to pop this up for a second. We won't be leaving this on stream for too long for, well, fairly obvious reasons. Whomis DS gave me an excellent quote, paragraph essay on his run, really in depth. It's nice to see. I am having a bit of a joke about the length of it, but it's nice to see someone with this kind of passion for a run, especially a not main category. I suppose it's typically people
side game is what you're looking for. Side game.
Yeah. It's like typically people look down a bit on the side games, so it's nice to see that somebody's actually interested in that.
I think side games actually, within our community at least, looked up to it in a way. Well, not looked up to, but looked across that evenly. Because everyone recognises that Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is nothing like the main series games, and it requires a completely different set of skills and knowledge to run. And I think that certainly deserves some respect, especially if the community is largely Pokemon speedrunners rather than Mystery Dungeon speedrunners, to be so passionate in what appears to be such a small community.
Yeah, Mystery Dungeon is... some of the later ones are very, very long runs that can, I think, alienate some people, but the earlier ones are... some of the work that goes into them is nutty. The saving... The manip that Worcester initially did when he was running their runs and has now been improved is really crazy. Crafted has just brought up a good point in the chat, though, that this is almost a quote-unquote free record because DS ran on Wii U VC, which saves...
DS ran on...
Yeah, DS ran on Wii U VC. It saves 5 to 6 minutes. It's still a very good time. I don't think... 2:34 is nothing to shake a stick at.
Yeah, VC doesn't save that much time. It's definitely a very good run.
Yeah. Because I ran this, I think you, me and Garth all ran this about the same time, like 2 or 3 years ago. It was like sub 3 at the time was a really good time. And Bison as well was running it then.
All I'm saying is a Switch Virtual Console went for the extra hour time save.
Yeah. But it will save, load times it will save a lot because it loads on every single floor. But, yeah, I mean, he's a clear 10 minutes ahead of second place, who's also on Wii U VC, so... Yeah, it's... Hello, Garth. There you go, what Garth's run was 3 years ago. Crafted's was 3 years ago. Mine's not on there, because I suck. But he also got, as part of... Well, actually, the single segments run was actually part of his single segment all icons run, which is a fairly new category on the leaderboards, where they have to get all 12 icons at the save screen. So you just saw them flash up there on the screen. You can just pause on that, that'd be good. So all 12 of these icons, and they all have different requirements to get them, and it basically requires going through a lot more of the post game and exploring a lot more of the game itself. And if you get a chance to overlook that quote that I threw up on screen, which I'll post a link to in the YouTube description as well, he explains how a lot of the time savers come about here. Things like better routing in the late game, how they use Articuno for his better movements. Like Articuno has agility, which makes you move twice where everybody else has once, and Powder Snow, which hits everything in a room. But also new knowledge as well, because they thought they had to recruit Mew in Relic Caves, I think it's called, to get the Mew icon, but they don't. They only have to beat Relic Caves, but it's still a 99 floor dungeon that they have to start at level 1 in. So I understand why not many people have actually completed a run of this. If you know anything about Mystery Dungeon, those dungeons are a nightmare. There's the potential as well to get to like floor 98 and die, and you lose multiple hours. So Huma's DS has been doing a lot of work in the Mystery Dungeon games recently. So you can see down here, Explorers of Sky and Red Blue, in tangent with, I believe, Mozzarella Cheese, who has been running more of the late games, although he's also prevalent in Red Blue, but doing a lot of like Gates to Infinity, Super Mystery Dungeon, Explorers of Sky.
I'm just going to come out and say that Pokemon Quest and Pokemon Let's Go aren't real games. It's a joke.
We don't know what they're going to be like yet.
Like, I think it's Pokemon Let's Go could be so good, but then they removed battling. Like, it's like, well, we took Pokemon and then we removed it.
No, there is battling. It's just set in places, and yeah, I'll be honest. I'm not expecting much from.
It looks quite good for a yellow remake, but then they're like, okay, but we've removed fighting wild Pokemon. It's just got to throw your Joy-Con at the screen. It's like, oh,
we can.
That's a bit of a weird game mechanic.
We can fingers crossed for the 2019 ones that are apparently coming and aren't the same as the Go ones. There should be hopefully be an actual RPG Pokemon on the Switch in 2019.
Yeah, it's a Pokemon Ranger 4.
You need to leave. God, is the
Pokemon Ranger was such a good game. Yeah, Pokemon Ranger Shadows of Almia, and Pokemon Ranger Guardian Signs.
God, yeah.
Like I say, I enjoyed Shadows of Almia at first, and I enjoyed the original Ranger, but replaying Shadows of Almia, oh my god. I remember doing it like a year or two ago, and it's just so slow paced at the start. It's like a 2-hour tutorial. It's like, please stop.
I tried playing the first one, and it was so slow that I didn't enjoy. I didn't get to the game. I was just
the first one is much harder, because the first one you have to get like say 50 loops in a row without breaking. But in the second one, it's like, oh, you have to get 50 loops total, no matter how many times you break. It's like, know what you're saying.
Yeah, they made it easier, definitely.
I can't. I've never even watched like a Ranger speedrun. I know so little of those games. So yeah, I think we're done with the mystery dungeon bit. We will move to another side game though, and of course we're going to move to this side game because I'm biased and this is my podcast. Ha ha ha. So Pinball, it's a brand new category that's been around for a couple of months at most. Despite the fact that it's Escape for a Living did a run 2 years ago, we'll ignore that. Got a new record, and it's by a guy called Driekann, which I'm actually really happy he got this run, because he's one of those people that's been putting in a lot of silent work for Pinball. He's the guy that...
It's your game, and you don't have to pay him anything.
No, he's been like... We did a lot of runs. I can't say I did particularly, but GCar and 360 Prism have been doing a lot of runs without knowing a lot of the technical details. So, like, we had an idea that Latios and Latias were about a 1% to encounter, but we didn't know the exact numbers. We didn't know the requirements. We didn't know, what the most optimal way to search for rarer Pokemon was. And Driekann has really put in the work. And it's not even with a technical know-how either. He like brute forced all this information. He sat there in an emulator and got an encounter on a frame, and then advanced it one frame later and got a catch and mode start there, and basically did that for 100 frames, and then counted how often he encountered each Pokemon, and he just built up this knowledge about where to find them, and just the most optimal ways. So things like Pichu is a rare hatch on the hatch mode, and we thought it was 1%. It's actually 2% if you do it before Rayquaza, and it's little things like that. And this category is still an RNG shithole. Don't tell anybody I said that. But it's been made a lot better, and it's nice to see that his work's paid off into such a good run, because sub 7 is very good. So yeah, and then I got a run about 20 days ago, which was only just sub 8, but to give you a clue as to how bad RNG can be in this run, if I'd have got the Latios as soon as I could after I'd done everything else, my time would have been a 7:10. So I lost 47 minutes just for searching for a Latios. So, yeah. Pinball's exciting at the moment. I wish some people had come over to the other categories because they're fun. I know 360 Prism tried them. He didn't seem to enjoy them that much, unfortunately. But it's a good game. People should run it.
It's an awful game. No one run it.
No, please. Reminded that I still have money on the line for anybody that can beat my records in the first 2 categories and in Catch Draw Archie.
How long have these records stood?
Since I joined the leaderboards. So,
Wait,
2.5, 3 years.
You've got money on this?
Yes, there's...
How much are we talking?
There's a miscellaneous
£100,
category that the record is like 4 minutes and 10 seconds, and that's got a fiver on it. Ruby Field's got 25 quid on it.
Right, I'm just gonna go buy a cartridge then.
And then Sapphire Field has got 45 or 35 quid.
Game Boy Advance, I can play it on my DS. Wait, right.
Yeah.
New speed game.
You can make a whole like £60.
Yes!
And it took me like 2 or 3 years to get those times.
I'll get them first try, it's fine.
Alright. So yeah, that's pretty much all the main points we had to talk about. We're going to do the same thing we did last podcast and just run through the leaderboards to see what other PBs are about, see what people to watch out for. We'll start off with the yellow because we've already done red. And this one is quite interesting to me. And it might seem odd considering the time on it, but Tyro got a 5-hour 10-minute run in yellow. If you look at the comment, Pikachu only, which I think is kind of astounding. It's nice that somebody's doing that kind of run in the first place, but being able to finish yellow with just a Pikachu, even if it was 5 hours, is kind of nutty. I'm a massive fan of alternative starter runs, so I'd be interested to see if he drops this down any further.
I actually did some routing into Trico percent for Spinda percent, and it's quite close.
Do you know what? I did the same as well, and you just get hardwalled at Rival 2.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like it's much faster with the Roxanne. I was like, oh, this is going well. Like Rival 2, like, oh, suddenly got a fat combusting, which is the most broken thing in the game.
So from there, we didn't get anything else in Hey You Pikachu or Pokemon Trading Card Game. We'll go over to Snap, where we have CC Neverender in 5th, and his comment for this run is Big PB, so he seems quite happy with it. Anybody know anything about Snap? I don't know anything.
If you look down, it makes you go faster because it lags less.
That's exactly what I said on the last podcast when he said, "Does anyone know anything about Snap?"
Good to know we have a diverse knowledge.
Am I repeating myself already?
I know nothing about Snap other than you take photos, so...
I haven't got a clue how the speedrun would work. Oh yeah, he's looking down. Yeah. Okay, your story checks out. The only other one, I'm going to shout this guy out because he is a monkey ball runner. So that's like the only time this is ever going to cross over for me into the two of the communities, is Keto in 32nd with a 23.35. I don't know how long Keto's been running this, but evidently a varied runner. Oh, for about a week. So yeah, that's a decent improvement already. So if you like snap runs, definitely somebody to watch out for. I feel like I said that a lot last time as well.
Yeah.
I need to come up with some better phrases. Stadio, shout-outs to Simply Cosmo in the chat. Got himself, where are you? It's 21st. Sub 140 soon, he says, which is a significant jump. That'd jump him up to 3rd. I believe there was another one. Stefan in 32nd. First run ever. So definitely room to improve there. I'm sure I said that loads last time as well. Moving over to Crystal. I've got in my notes that Huanli weighs. Oh yeah, he PB'd. I feel like he was on the Crystal leaderboard last time. Like, so he's... I'm just going to open up his profile. Yeah, he was. So yeah, we've already got the improvement there. I said Huanli weighs was somebody to watch out for. Definitely improving his time in Crystal. So...
It means if anyone listens to your advice, just be watching every single person in the community.
Yes! No, that's,
watch out for everyone. Do not blink
advice.
for a minute. If you blink,
advice.
You'll miss it.
You should be scrounging the leaderboards every day to see new runners.
5 tabs advice. Open at any one time, refreshing.
Yeah.
Just to see if someone else goes live.
I want people to get the support that they deserve. Bizuli, 28th?
Just on Twitch, like no game selected, just checking every stream in case someone forgot to put the game down with us. Like,
and I think, yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that. Magalore Pokemon, I think, showing up in Crystal on 8%. This is still a really quiet leaderboard. Why people don't like Crystal on 8%? Cough, bad clone, cough.
I always think of it as a new category, but it's really not anymore.
Well, there's runs on there 3 years old.
Yeah, it's 3 years old now.
It shows how the category's advanced as well, because the Bombstu's run is an hour and 2, and the Bombstu is not a bad runner. Like that's just that is a route change.
He got that on the first day. Like, I remember the first day, the first route of Crystal 90% came out. Me and him both did attempts, and he had the record with that was the record.
Wow. So he's gone from first to last in 3 years, but it's only 9th because nobody's running this. God damn. More Crystal 90% runners, please. We need more. Now I would pull up the leaderboards for Ruby and Sapphire, but unfortunately I don't think Heinz's run is up there yet. Or at least it wasn't last time we checked. No. So I'll just pop the video open. Kindly linked by Scoagogo. So, G. Heinz actually has the Japanese record for Sapphire. Which, I mean, Heinz has been a prominent Sapphire runner for years now. He's been around for a long while.
I think he joined like 2013, so
yeah.
That's 5 years.
So, and this appears to be a first finished run, judging by his splits. Either that or he was running against blank splits. So
No, he finished one like 2 years ago. He just appears to be going back to it.
Yeah.
Because the one on the leaderboards is the final time he's running against.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, 2:06:38. So he improved. How much did he improve this by? 3 minutes?
3 minutes, yeah, and he's working to kick it down like another 3 minutes. He's trying to get sub 2, I think.
I think he definitely could do that. I know he said, I've seen him post on Twitter that the Japanese run is a much more enjoyable run because of slightly different stats. Because I know, like, I think the rivals get different stats.
Yeah, there are some parts that are just way better because of some of the natures.
Yeah, I think also there's a difference where in Britain, in the Western versions, everything has 31 IVs, doesn't it, in every star? And or 30 maybe. I don't remember. It's been years. And then there's like different Japanese.
I think they have set IVs, but I don't think they're always 30 or 31. I think like the Elite Four does, but I think your rivals have certain set IVs and natures. Because I know if you choose different, no, like in Emerald, if you go for male or female protagonist, then your rival can have different natures on their like starter Pokemon, even though you've chosen the same starter Pokemon to go against them with. It's probably a similar thing to that. So yeah, otherwise quiet on the Ruby and Sapphire front. We were actually talking about that earlier, saying that Gen 3 in general is quite quiet, but Sapphire's a very promising run.
Gen 3's been quiet for about 2.5 years, to be honest.
Been quiet for a year or so, yeah. Shiru's been steady work on Emerald, but otherwise, yeah.
But it's just, I think the issue is it's just such an RNG depending category and game that, like, I know from Emerald at least, it's just, you can die in Emerald to, like, Norman, Taintlines, like, random stuff you don't expect. It's just, and it kind of demotivates you. And then, like, if you run any percent, oh my god, what are you doing with your life?
Oh, reminded, there is a Sapphire any percent, but it's Japanese only. That's
yeah,
an
because that's
interesting
Japanese.
category. There are no new runners for Pokemon Channel, but I have a note here, and I'm going to keep saying it every podcast. Sort this theme out. Jesus Christ.
Pikachu noticed the Wade.
It hurts. It's not funny, and it's like eye rape. Sort it out.
It's beautiful, please keep it.
One of these 5
as long
people
as you
here,
can.
sort your lives out. This is awful. Where do we go from there? Colosseum. No new runs for Colosseum. I spelled it wrong.
Coliseum.
You mean Coliseum?
Coliseum. This is now
He
Coliseum.
just managed to spell Colosseum with 2 E's and 2 L's, and I'll let you figure out how he's the man.
We have a new category in All Snags, which I know a lot of Coliseum runners were
And 1S.
looking for. You can shut up any time. I don't need to spell. These are my notes. Get off my ass. Yeah. All Snags is a category.
Your
I think
ass
that have
spelled
been...
with one S.
I'm going to mute you any second now. All Snags is a category they've been asking for. Do not type over it. You cannot edit my document. Yeah, All Snags is a category that a lot of Coliseum runners have been asking for a bit. Pretty obvious by its name that you snag all the Pokemon that you can, all the Shadow Pokemon. Expect to see runs pop up there at some point. I believe Geno Kirby's actually done a run of it, or at least attempted runs, so... Wow, wait for my internet connection to actually do anything here. I'll go over to Fire Red Leaf Green. Fire Red Leaf Green, any percent? Is that right? Or is Fades just editing my notes? I can't tell if the first one's Fates though, because I don't recognise that name. Delcamax? Oh, there he is, 23rd. So, first run for Delca MX, 2:38.
It's the 23rd. I didn't change the position.
No, I think I must have written that in wrong. So that's just me. And then Elite Four Round 2, and I'm quite happy to see this guy back, is JP Zenam. Has been gone for a couple of years now from Pokemon runs. Was quite a notable Fire Red runner. Similarly,
he had the round 2 world record at one point, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. This is going back a couple of years though.
Similar to like what happened with any percent and round 2 world record when Worcester and Exarion were both playing. I was like,
he had the
I think because of the emulator times being removed, because me VRNG had like the record on an emulator, and he had like the best time on console. So it was like the record.
I see. Mev's emulator run isn't on the leaderboards, which is kind of sad.
I'm not sure what time it would be real time.
It is now. Sorry, I'm blind. I didn't realise that so many people would have beaten it. I thought it would have held up more. 2:09:01. God, that's scary to think that I was like my run's like 24 seconds off that.
See, that was like an insane time.
Mev was a force to be reckoned with in this game for so long, and the only reason he initially lost the record was because of the emulator rule. Like, it still wasn't beaten for a year or so until after he got it. So,
and like that record, his emulator time was I think 12 minutes better than the best console time.
Yeah,
so it was ridiculous.
I keep forgetting to open up in new tabs again, so you get to stare at the white screen again. The next one we're going to, and I'm just going to preempt it now because I can't be bothered to wait. Diamond and Pearl. I believe any percent wasn't. No, it's Glitchless that Etiquette's joined. I believe you know a bit about this, Crafted?
Yeah, he's been doing runs with the old Chimchar Palkia route, I think to familiarize himself with the game before he does Lucky Egg. Because the hard thing about Lucky Egg is if you don't get it, then the run's over. So, because you can't like retry it. Like if you miss the frame, it's just you have to reset. So, wow. I mean it's not too difficult, but I think he just wants to kind of get familiar with the region and everything. So he was doing the old route.
Yeah, that makes sense. Etiquette's a big time speedrunner, I would think. Do we count him as one of the big ones? Are we deciding this now?
Etiquette's a scrub. He doesn't even have spin percent world record. Don't have any.
He's got the Oras world record though.
His Oras run is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Etiquette's long term. He's been everywhere. He's done 151. I think I had Mirror Safe Corruption world record too.
He runs
Oras. Yeah.
He runs N++. The man gets legit status from me. Literally can't. That game is ridiculous.
Oh, I tried to run N+ at one stage.
It's a difficult game. I forgot to do it again. I still forgot to open it up in a new tab, so enjoy the white screen. The next games we're going to are Pokemon Mystery Dungeons. We're going to go to Time and Darkness first. We have Wuthrad in second on the Wondermail category. Mentioned this last time, I think. Wondermail's basically, you can actually, I think it was a feature to communicate between the games, but you can effectively swap Wondermails just by swapping codes. But people figured out the codes, so now you can basically generate your entire, you can generate a really quick mission with a really good prize or reward, so that you can get overpowered items consistently and quickly. Interestingly, running on time and on a 3DS. I'd be honest, I don't know what the differences are, what differences they make to the speedrun. But yeah, I'm not going to say one to look out for because I've already said it. I'll get shot.
Also, a reminder that theme is actually really cool. Like, that background on Darkness is really cool.
The sky one's just as good as well. Remember, guys, good looking leaderboards will attract more runners.
Channel.
So mozzarella cheese, we mentioned him earlier. I don't know if this was in time for the last podcast or not, but we'll just pop this up on here. He got the any percent no wonder mail second place. Which one was it? I've lost which one it's supposed to be. Oh, all icons. Yeah, so doing the first Sky All Icons run. I imagine about similar difficulty to the Red Blue one, in that you have to do a lot of post-game content and it can be quite difficult. I'll be honest, I don't know as much about this one. The Beat Darkrai, I believe he actually got within the All Icons run. Yeah, done as part of the first ever All Icons run. I think that's more of almost like a challenge category, in that it's more challenging to actually finish the category than necessarily get a good time in it. But I could be wrong. From there, RDA shouted at me last time because we just skipped over this, so I'll have to make sure I make a comment for it here. We picked up the Pokemon Rumble any percent with passwords world record. RDA, as ever, put in a lot of work into Pokemon Rumble. I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever played this casually. Anybody know anything about Pokemon Rumble? Quick.
I remember it's a very, very weird speedrun. Rubber Ducky Assassin ran it for a very long time.
That's RDA, that's who I'm saying.
Oh, look. Okay, listen.
Oh dear.
I have never seen his
Guess
name
who didn't read
like
the notes?
I'm looking at the notes. I can see RDA, but my brain didn't put Rubber Ducky Assassin together. But like, there we go. Rubber Ducky Assassin's ran this many years. Did it a couple of PSR marathons. I think he did it first, the PSR marathon in 2016. So that's at least like 2.5 years experience he's got under his belt.
Yeah, so I mean, I think he has just every record in this game ever. So this is like, you could call him the amoeba of Pokemon Rumble, as I am the amoeba of Pinball. No? Okay. Fine. I'm not even the amoeba of Pinball anymore. Somebody created a new category and they've destroyed me in it.
RXFadez of spin the percent.
You can leave. Just been alerted to in chat. I can't find the game. Where's Picross? Is it on here? Am I blind?
It might be on a different thing because it's a DSi store game. What's the 3DS store game?
I'm sure I've seen it on here. Or am I thinking of Trozy?
You mean Link?
What? No, I mean
it's called Pokemon Link, not Pokemon Trozy.
Yeah, we're not Americans.
No, it literally says Pokemon Trozy. If it's Link in English, then that's stupid, because Trozy's a more interesting name. But I can't find Picross at all, unless I'm being blind.
No,
Apparently
just
there was
search for it.
Picross.
It's under the Picross series, it's not on the series.
That's
Speaking
weird.
of hideous backgrounds, it's one runner job. Nick Capricorn got a 247.28 on 3DS yesterday in the any percent category for all areas.
Oh, well done. It's a bit weird, because I know like the Mystery Dungeon comes under two different series. Because it comes under Mystery Dungeon and Pokemon, so Picross could come under both if it wanted to. I guess they want to be special.
No, don't go over this again. I remember what happened like in 2015 with the massive. Just leave it now, memes.
We have, again, this is another game I know so little about, and I kind of wish I knew more, but it's not even one I played casually. But XD has had a lot of action in the past month. Ryzikan taking a second place, only less than 2 minutes off the record. His comments seem to suggest a new route. I'll be honest, I tried to skip through the video to find where they applied. I couldn't figure them. I don't know anything about this game.
Does anyone know what the XD stands for in it? In Pokemon XD?
I think it's just something they stuck on the end to make it sound cool, a bit like Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon.
Extra dark.
Extra dark. And then when the lead was...
Dark, Yellow Darkness.
Oh no, I opened up the wrong one, I suck. And then we've also got... I don't know how, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce Roflegon? Yeah, okay. In 6th, and Zewing in 7th. Zewing, prolific speedrunner. And I know he's run XD before. I think it's been a while since he's run it though. So, neat to see him come back. That is a god-awful thing. My god. So yeah, it's been 2 years since he's run this game. But, yeah, so XD getting some new love. I know I'm sure we said last time that it had potential for RNG minute. I don't know if that's come into play yet or not, but Smiley's was working on that. So I feel like that's a game that could explode sometime soon. Then we'll go on to another Mystery Dungeon one. If I can find it. Where are you, Gates to Infinity? Am I blind? I'm blind. There it is. And Hulk gets the official world record with an 8:34 on an actual DS. If we pull up the emulators, Mozzarella Cheese gets the emulator best known time with an 8:06. So Gates to Infinity gets.
To be fair, though, is that, from what I understand, and Crafty, before you go further on this, is there is a huge difference between timing on DS emulators and DS.
This is 3DS. So I don't even know. I didn't even know there was a 3DS emulator.
Yeah, I didn't know there was a 3DS emulator.
I assume it's on a DS emulator because I doubt it's on Citrus.
Well, it's on
Citrus?
It's on the 3DS. It's the 3DS game. No, it can't be
It
on a
says
DS emulator.
it's the NRT viewer, and then in the rules it says NRT viewer banned.
What's NRT viewer then? Oh, is that the thing that?
Oh, NTR viewer.
Oh yeah. Is that the thing
I know
that
NRT.
like streams your DS as opposed to having to capture it? I have no idea why that would be banned though.
Yeah, it's a streaming thing apparently, but I'm guessing it messes with the FPS and stuff. So whatever.
Yeah, I think it allows the game to be played faster.
That's a bit of a shame. God knows. 3DS streaming is not easy or cheap, so I can sympathise.
I just realised what about Gates to Infinity. That makes so much sense. I thought we were talking about Pokemon Ranger Guardian Signs. Like that's not on 3DS.
Oh, Gates to Infinity.
I'm very tired. Please forgive me.
Going on to XY, one new runner down.
Beautiful transition because it's the Mystery Dungeon runner who's caught himself on Mystery Dungeon runner for so long and not a Pokemon runner. He's insisted he's a Mystery Dungeon runner, but he's moving into Pokemon now. It seems. With only 9 days ago, getting 13th place in the XY leaderboards.
Yeah, it's a bit of a surprising first main game to go into, I would say. XY is not the most popular main game. Yeah, it's first attempt, massive. Oh no, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, any percent. Apparently 9 months ago. That's what you get, Fades.
I never said first. I said it's good to see he's moving into the mainstream game. You put first in my mouth.
I quit.
He's also played Rumble as well, for the record. So even though that's not mainstream, it's not a Mystery Dungeon game.
Well,
but my general point was, it's nice to see that the Mystery Dungeon and the Pokemon communities are starting to mix and match more through this Mystery Dungeon game.
Well, it was, let's say, three or 4 years ago, it was a lot of the Pokemon community moving into Mystery Dungeon in a way. There was a lot of people that jumped onto Red Blue for a bit. Mystery Dungeon, that is. So, yeah, it's nice to see the reverse happening, because Hulk has been a steadfast Mystery Dungeon runner for a long time. So from here, we've got Oras, and Simply Cosmo rears his head again. I don't know if we covered this one in the last podcast or not. I don't know if this just scrapes into this one or not. He's got himself a 14th in Omega Ruby. Just a first run, so interested to see how much this could be improved. If he wants to improve it, maybe he doesn't enjoy the run, who knows. But yeah, Horace has been fairly quiet since, well, for a while now. Etiquette got the record a couple of months ago, and otherwise it's not been very active. Oh, I think it's worth mentioning as well. Scoa, you'll probably know, didn't Emre recently get an XY PB? Or am I making that up?
No, she got a black-white PB earlier.
That was it, yeah. Okay, I am mixing things up. So Emre will start appearing in the black-white leaderboard, runner on, otherwise on the XY leaderboard. And then the final game is Simply Cosmo again bags himself a free record in Detective Pikachu. Hands up if you've ever played this game. I said hands up because there's no point asking. Are you serious?
I have played it.
Wow, alright. Come on then, man, start talking. You know how this game works.
You talk to a lot of NPCs.
Is that it?
Yeah.
I talked to Cosmo a bit about it, and he told me it's literally just run around and talk to some NPCs.
For how long is this run? 7 hours?
For 7 hours.
7 hours. I hope this was worth it, Cosmo.
I was led to believe it was some sort of a... Oh, what's the old puzzle game for the DS called?
Professor Layton.
Is it not like Professor Layton?
Yeah, Professor Layton.
Oh, hold on, that's completely different. Professor Layton's a legit game. You have to solve puzzles.
Professor Layton's class. I thought it was going to be like Professor Layton, honestly. They made it out to be similar.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like, I was led to believe it was like Professor Layton 2.0.
Yeah, it was like straight puzzles and like a story, but instead it's just running around talking to people, mashing through dialogue.
I was led to believe that Detective Pikachu would be voiced by Danny DeVito, so I guess we've all had our dreams broken.
To be fair, like if I wanted to run around and talk to people, I'd just go outside.
Oh, alright, alright, no, let's not suggest anything silly. Lord. Outside doesn't have speedruns.
Have you ever heard for a race? They came way before video games, me. So you should really check them out. They're great. Every 4 years, the Olympics, huge.
You're saying take a speed run, but remove the speed, so it's just a run. That sounds like a lot.
Are you implying that Usain Bolt is going slowly?
I'm saying it could be optimized. That's all. Man reacts too slow to the gun.
How are you going to reroute the 100-meter dash? It's a straight line.
He slowed down right at the end. If you're specifically talking about Usain Bolt's world record, he gloats at the end and slows down a little bit.
That was his 2008 Beijing world record. He's done more since then.
Alright. I'm no good at my job, I know. Christ.
This is my stream. I'm staging a coup de grace, and this is not my stream.
No, maybe it's okay. It's about Pokemon. Real life stuff doesn't matter here.
I mean, we could combine this and go for a Pokemon Dash.
I'm gonna fight you.
Right, guys, everyone buy a Pokemon Dash cartridge. That's our new speed game.
I bought that game when I was like 14. It was terrible.
Oh, I'm 14.
I have fond memories of it.
I have the exact same experience.
I have fond memories of the game, but I played it like the other day. It's like laggy as hell, and it's just not playable. I
went into town with a friend, picked up the game, we went for like a drink somewhere, I sat and played it for 5 minutes and then went and returned it after I was done. I disliked it that much. A shout out to the people that run Pokemon Dash. Sorry for shitting all over your game.
The people who actually care enough to run it.
Yeah. There's only 2 people on the leaderboard. No. Exarion is the Usain Bolt of Pokemon.
No, I wouldn't say so, because Usain Bolt only does 2 races. Well, 3 races if you count the relay. But Exarion kind of branched out. I guess maybe because he does Gen 1 through 3. And Usain Bolt only does 3 races. Exarion's retired and Usain Bolt's retired.
Coincidence? I think not.
It's a bit of a shame that Exarion hasn't branched out into later gens, I think. Especially considering his recent comments that he doesn't like the RNG manipness. There's definitely some less heavy RNG manip games, especially Gen 6 and 7. Maybe not Gen 5. But... Although, well, Black White 1 has got ridiculously easy RNG manip.
Gen 4 is very heavy
RNG
manip.
Yeah, that's true. Well, it's a different kind in a way, isn't it? It's not Gen 1 RNG manip. You're not Well, I suppose it is, but you're not. Oh, kind of.
Well, it's better.
Yeah. Is it more enjoyable? That's probably the question.
Probably. Like, you don't have those in-game time failures and stuff. Like, it always, like, if you do the right thing, it always works.
Yeah, it'll always work.
Lack of easy capture access. The regular DS captures aren't ridiculously expensive though. I've literally just picked one up, and with international shipping it cost me £60, which is not a small investment at all. But if you're not going for 3DS, it's not ridiculous.
Alright, well, that's for you to install it yourself.
Yeah, installing it yourself is like, he gives you full step-by-step instructions, and it's ridiculously easy. The most complicated thing you have to do is cut out a bit of plastic.
Oh, damn.
I failed year 9 art when I was in high school, and I was the first person ever at my high school in the 120 years of its existence to do that. So I hadn't cut a piece of card.
Jesus. So yeah, we've pretty much done with the leaderboard roundup and most of the podcast itself. We're just going to talk really quickly about the upcoming Pokemon Speedruns Marathon. Specifically why I have invited Fades here as the man who has been in part behind
the greatest entertaining show of all time.
All 3 marathons up until this point. I feel like he has. You've done tech on the last 2 quite a lot, haven't you?
I've done everything, to be quite honest with you, because the first marathon I did layouts, scheduling, a bit of hosting, I set up the forms. I did everything for the first marathon, basically, except for setting up the stream box.
Didn't Keyzron come in and insult your layouts and then redo them all?
He got upset it was lime green. I was like, I didn't disagree with him. Like, at this point, I just installed Photoshop totally illegally on my system. I was only doing it because everyone else refused to.
Totally legally, we do not endorse piracy on this channel.
God no! Like I have 2 functioning eyes. I don't wear an eye patch. Yeah, but so the first marathon I did everything but tech. Past 2 marathons, I think I've set up the stream box both times. I think, yeah.
It's just a fun little project. Yeah. I mean, I've been on the committee for the last couple of years, and it's nice, like, especially seeing a lot of the regular faces. I mean, I'm obviously wasn't in the first one, but there's been obviously the admins are in it for pretty much every year.
I believe only me, DeBar, and Worst have been there every year.
Yeah. But then, like, I've shown up for 3 out of 4. Sinstar's shown up for 3 out of 4, maybe 2 out of 4. I think Garfield's shown up for all of them.
This year is the first that Sinstar isn't doing.
Yeah, Garfield's been there for at least 3. He was there for at least all the ones I've done. I don't know if he was there for the first. But it's like a real community.
Yeah, Sinstar was in the first.
It's just a real good thing to do with the community.
I imagine him as a Zapdos. Like, he's a Zapdos.
God bless Sinstar. He's far too busy to be doing it this year, by the sounds of it. But yeah, it's a great. If you've not watched it before, really recommend watching it this year. It's going to be. I don't think we've officially publicly finalised the date, but we do have a final date for it, and it's a weekend in the middle of August.
August 10th to 12th.
I don't think we were allowed to say that, but sure.
I'd like to see him stop me. I publicly announced it.
August 10th to 12th.
The submission form is going to be put out this week. On the submission form, it says 10 till 12. Yeah. You've heard it here first. This is PSR Marathon live stream. What's this stream called again? Pokemon Speedrunning TV. What's it called? What's the name of the live stream?
Amoeba UK.
The podcast. Pokemon Speedruns podcast. There we go. Pokemon Speedruns podcast. You heard it here first. A prime news source. Subscribe today for more premium content.
But yeah, it's going to be. Let's say submissions will be open. I imagine this weekend, maybe next weekend. So if you're an avid Pokemon speedrunner sat in chat right now, definitely consider submitting. I think there's going to be like 8,000 Pokemon Black White 1 runners submitting. Because I'm fairly sure Sko is going to, I'm fairly sure Crafted's going to, I'm probably going to, Cosmo's probably going to, Emray might. You could end up with a 5-way race in the most uncommonly run game ever.
Imagine the layout for that, though.
5-way race. There's going to be an awkward point where it's like, right, we've got 5 people submitted for this game, and we need to cut one of them out to have a nice looking layout. Who do we offend? Oh, we'll just kill Amoeba because he's got a pinball running. I am getting a pinball running this year, or else.
Actually, I'm going to act as my veto powers for anything that starts in pin and ends in ball. So,
I'm trying to think if there's anything else Pokemon-wise that ends in ball, but I don't think there is. It's a shame. Yeah, well, I would say it's always a fun thing to do committee-wise. I enjoy.
You can't think of anything in Pokemon that ends in ball.
No games. I was trying to think of other games.
I
know. There's no other games that end in ball that would be banned. I was trying to think of other, like, if you'd banned any other games. Also, I'd like to apologise to Crafted. I pulled up his White 2 run from PSR 2017 right in the middle of the manip, and it's not going well. Sorry, my dude.
Good old Timer Zero.
Jawbur sucks. But yeah, it'll be streamed live. Where is it? Pokemon Speedruns TV, I think is the channel.
Pokemon Speedruns TV, all one word. PokemonSpeedruns TV.
If you can't spell Pokemon or Speedruns, why are you here? If you want to stay up...
How did you find this channel?
Yeah. If you want to stay up to date with the news, follow them on Twitter. I think it's exactly the same thing, or it might just be Pokemon Speedruns.
No,
really
on
obvious.
Twitter it is PKMN Speedruns.
Yeah, so follow them there. I'll pop the links in the YouTube as well. Yeah, this is like the PSR community's little love child. People put a lot of work into it. A lot of money a little bit of money goes into it as well. So
all funds are returned to people who require them. I'm not a scam artist, thank you.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, like I say, the PSR Marathon is a great thing every year. I make jokes, but at the end of the day, community comes together, puts together a weekend of entertainment for free, completely for free. Except for some people, it's actually not for free because they pay. Meebs is generously donated 1 year.
No, I didn't.
He didn't, apparently. I demand a refund for the money I sent back. But yeah, we've had Meebs have generally donated more than 1 year. Bombs donated a lot. I think TiKevin last year. Someone else did last year, and I don't remember at the minute because I'm very tired. But whoever it is, I love them. So
yeah,
people come together in money. People come together in viewership and support and their runs. It's a great experience. Everyone there loves it. It's completely positive. Nothing's negative, except for when I'm hosting, in which case I just shit on them right there. But yeah, it's great. So I'd seriously recommend following and make sure you're there 10th to 12th of August.
Yeah, absolutely. And I believe with that, we have reached the end of the marathon. This is not a marathon. This is a podcast. We've reached the end of the podcast. I would like to say thank you very much once again to my esteemed guests, Crafted, Scoagogo, and RXFadez.
Amoeba says goodbye, begs for feedback, thanks a guest, but has a small cry and tries to hide.
I'm wiping away a tear right now because this is going so nicely. I do appreciate everybody that's watching. I can't say I put in a lot of work to this because, but I put in a little bit of work into these things, and it's nice to see that people are enjoying them and supporting them. As ever, please give feedback. I'd like to know what I'm doing right, what we're doing wrong. And yeah, we'll throw you over to the splash screen. Thank you everybody for watching.
Au revoir. Can they still hear us? Are we okay to speak now?
They can still hear us. I haven't figured it out yet. 1 minute.
Okay.